been married by these laws of Athens, and he's benefited for his entire life by actually enjoying the benefits of this social contract. And in return for those benefits, all the laws of Athens say is that you have to obey the laws. Don't break the law. Right? So with our own societies, we can see this. We have infrastructure, we have education, we have to some extent healthcare, we have all of these institutions, the money in your wallet, the ownership of the things that you own. These are guaranteed to you by your state. Right? In return for that, all the state asks is you don't break the law. Right? So there's this formal agreement between individual and state. Right? Now Socrates has gone through a trial, and he has been convicted of these treasonous offenses, not believing the gods, the state, and corrupting the youth. He's been convicted. It's now time for him to obey the law and allow the laws to carry out their sentence. If he were to overturn this verdict issued by the courts in Athens, he would be, in fact, breaking an agreement. Right? He's got this formal agreement. But somebody might say that, wait, hold on, when did I agree to that? The laws are unjust, and I am simply not allowing this injustice to be carried forth. I mean, we just saw in the Apology that this trial that Socrates suffered, he wasn't really guilty of the things that he was convicted of and then sentenced to death. So it's unjust to put him to death, somebody might say. Right? But the laws of Athens don't just demand things from you. You're an Athenian, so you must obey the law. They say, well, you've got some options. First off, you could just sit there and enjoy it. Right? You could just obey the laws of Athens as they are, that sort of thing. Secondly, at any point, if you don't like the city-state of Athens, if you don't like the laws, that sort of thing, you can grab all your stuff and with no penalties, just leave. You don't like it, you can leave. And third, seeing as how it was an Athenian democracy, on top of that, you could persuade the laws that they were unjust. Right? So, three options. Just do what you're told. Leave. Or show up at the courts and show the laws how they are unjust. Persuade them. Socrates, throughout his long life, did nothing. Right? And in fact, it wasn't until the Apology that he wound up showing up in the courts at all. He never once in his 70 long years in the city-state of Athens, living under the social contract that allows him the benefit to question the laws of Athens, did he once argue against these laws. Right? So all of his long life, he has consented to these laws, not explicitly, but tacitly. So, these two ideas are related to one another, right? The idea of a formal agreement between individual and state, and this concept of tacit consent, this idea that we can, and in fact do, consent to the laws just by not arguing against them. Right? So, by this argument, well, I mean, with regard to public opinion, we're not worried about it. Right? With regard to whether it's good for Socrates to escape and overturn the verdict of the courts, well, he's got this agreement that he's consented to all of his life, and it seems that in breaking this agreement, he would not be always doing the good. He would be in violation of his theory of justice. Right? So, very consistently with this argument, we shouldn't fear death, we should only fear doing that which we know to be bad, and that is acting immorally. If he's in violation of his theory of justice, he's acting immorally. Right? He knows that keeping agreements is good, and breaking them is bad. He's made this agreement, he's consented to this agreement for 70 years, Now to turn around and say, no, I don't want to pay up, I don't want to obey the laws, that would be unjust. Right? So Socrates allows his sentence to be carried out. So, this is a very interesting position we get from Socrates. Right? We get a full-bodied political position with the theory of justice. We get an application of a moral theory, right, based on absolutely no claims to big T truth, right, in the absence of an absolute moral truth. Right? We find that we can rationally hold ourselves to standards of honesty and standards of action that involve not claiming we're wise when we are not. Right? So this is Socrates' position. Right? And it's important to note that he started from exactly the same starting point with regard to truth as the sophists. Right? We can't know the truth. Right? So, that's Socrates. Well, come on, you.